Long before the arrival of Europeans, Canada was home to a diverse array of indigenous peoples. From the Haida on the Pacific coast to the Inuit in the Arctic, these First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples thrived for centuries. They developed complex social structures, unique traditions, and a deep spiritual connection to the land. These early inhabitants lived in harmony with nature, relying on its bounty for sustenance and utilizing its resources for their livelihoods. The stories, traditions, and values of Indigenous peoples continue to shape Canada's identity today. The arrival of Europeans in the late 15th and early 16th centuries marked a turning point in the history of these lands. Explorers, driven by the promise of new trade routes and riches, encountered the indigenous inhabitants and began to establish settlements. The relationship between the indigenous peoples and the newcomers would be complex and fraught with challenges. The French and the British became the dominant European powers vying for control over present-day Canada. They established colonies, engaged in fur trade with indigenous peoples, and competed for territory and resources. The rivalry between these two European powers had a profound impact on the development of the nation that would eventually emerge. The French established settlements like Quebec City and Montreal, leaving a lasting legacy on language, culture, and law. The British, with colonies like Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, brought their own traditions and institutions. The fur trade played a pivotal role in shaping the relationship between Europeans and indigenous peoples. While initially mutually beneficial, it eventually led to increased competition for resources and, sadly, to the displacement of indigenous communities. Throughout this period, indigenous peoples faced immense challenges, including the loss of land, the spread of diseases, and attempts to assimilate their cultures. The mid-19th century saw a growing desire for greater autonomy and unity among the British North American colonies. Political leaders, recognizing the need for a stronger and more unified entity, sought to create a new nation. On July 1st, 1867, the Dominion of Canada was born. Confederation, as it is known, marked a pivotal moment in Canadian history. It united Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the province of Canada, which was then divided into Ontario and Quebec, into a single dominion within the British Empire. Sir John A. Macdonald, Canada's first Prime Minister, played a crucial role in this process. Confederation laid the foundation for Canada's growth as a nation. It paved the way for the expansion westward, the development of a national identity, and the gradual assertion of greater independence from Great Britain. The 20th century witnessed profound transformations in Canada. The country played a significant role in both world wars, demonstrating its growing international presence. The discovery of oil and other natural resources fueled economic growth and prosperity. Meanwhile, Canada underwent significant social and political changes. The country adopted its own flag in 1965 and patriated its constitution in 1982, severing its remaining colonial ties with Britain. Throughout these years, Canada welcomed waves of immigrants from all corners of the globe, transforming the nation into a multicultural mosaic. Today, Canada is a thriving multicultural nation with a strong commitment to peace, diversity, and social justice. As we look to the future, Canada continues to grapple with important challenges, including reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, environmental sustainability, and its role in a rapidly changing world.